Hi, this is Rais. Thank you for watching this video. You may not know this, but rocks can talk to us and they can teach us a lot of things about ourselves. This is because rocks are alive and have consciousness. This video is a recording of a fascinating hypnosis healing session I had with a client with some health issues. During the healing session, a group of rocks had an interesting conversation with him. The client's higher self then explained the deep meaning of that conversation. The higher self also explained how humans can speak with rocks, plants, trees, etc. I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching.
Behind this door is a lifetime that we need to see today, that will give you the information that we need to find to help you in the very best way that we can. In a moment, I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1. And as I count backwards from 3 to 1, we're going to open the handle of that door and walk through the door on the other side and into the lifetime that we need to see today, and close the door behind you. As I count backwards from 3 to 1, you will be there. 3. Putting your hand on that handle and opening the door. 2. Walking through the door and into the other side and closing the door behind us. And 1. Be there now. Take a moment and allow yourself to integrate. Connect with all your senses. And as you do, tell me what you see, sense, or experience.
The air is very heavy, moist. It's dark. You can just barely see. It's cool. It's enchanting. It's calling me forward. I'm a little apprehensive, but I feel drawn to go forward. I can feel the energy all around me. It's vibrating. It keeps calling me forward. Not sure where it's going, but I feel drawn to keep going. There's crystals, but not sharp, pointy ones. They're round. They're like flowers. There's deep blue and bright blue, purple. They have a message. They have memory. They keep calling. Go forward. The green ones, red ones, yellow ones. They're rocks, but they're crystal rocks. And they're round, not sharp. They look like flowers in clusters. They're shiny from the moisture in the air. They're cool. They keep calling me forward. There's moisture in the air. It feels like it's so dense, it's almost like cobwebs, but I'm drawn in. It's a dark and mysterious cave with shiny rocks, crystal rocks, round rocks. They look like flowers. They're like the flowers outside, but these are in the ground. But they glow, they shine, they glisten with moisture. And they seem to vibrate with an energy. They're humming.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the garden outside, but there's no butterflies inside. But these rocks are like flowers. They're all distinct. There's clusters of them. Blue ones, purple ones, yellow ones, red ones, green ones. And there's a path that goes through, but I can't see the end of it. It just seems to go on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Past all these rocks. They're all vibrating and buzzing and almost singing.
Uh-huh.
It's enchanting. It keeps calling me forward.
Uh-huh. Would you like to move forward to where they're asking you to go?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. And see what happens.
They're joking, they're giggling, they're laughing. I've never seen rocks laughing. They're vibrating. They're clinking like glasses. They're having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
We're going further and further in. They're giggling and laughing. I can't make out what they're saying, but they're giggling a lot. They're excited and happy. They're inviting me to come forward, to touch them. And they vibrate and buzz and they tickle.
Would you like to touch them and see what they feel like?
Mm-hmm. They're buzzing and tickling, almost feeling like laughing like they are, just giggling.
That's okay, you can do that. Go ahead if you want to.
They're just buzzing and they're buzzing with energy, with life.
Mm-hmm.
They're clinking like glasses. They're shaking like little insects shaking water off, making clinking sounds like glass.
Mm-hmm.
These are bright little rocks, like they have their own light inside, twinkling, vibrating, and giggling.
And you said they asked you to go ahead and touch them?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do that?
Yeah, they're vibrating and buzzing, it tickles.
Oh, okay.
They're not shaking hard, but they vibrate very quickly and it tickles.
Mm-hmm. How does it feel for you to be there among those beautiful rocks?
It's fun. It's unexpected. It's joyful and silly.
Mm.
It's very different. It's not what I expect. The rocks can vibrate and laugh.
Mm-hmm. And joke.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're giggling because of the vibration, or they're vibrating because they're giggling.
If you wanted to communicate with them, could you do that by focusing?
They glow more, but they don't vibrate as much when I look at them. But they glow brighter.
Oh, okay.
And they seem to vibrate slower, but they're getting brighter when I look at them. When I touch them, they vibrate faster and tickles. When I look at them, they vibrate slower and they glow brighter.
Interesting.
I don't know what they're trying to say, but they're very pretty to look at. The more you look at them, the light from inside gets brighter and steadier. And again, it's patches of these shiny rocks that look like flowers, and just a path through them. It doesn't seem to go anywhere in particular, but it goes through all these different clusters of rocks that look like flowers. That glow when you look at them, and they vibrate and clink together when you're passing by or you touch them.
They look like they're alive.
They look like they're, yes, almost breathing.
Consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there one rock that gets your attention more than the others, or are they all equally interesting?
They're all equally interesting.
Okay.
And they're all in patches by themselves. So the green ones are here, the blue ones are there. There's even white ones sprinkled throughout.
Okay. Ask them if there is anything they want to tell you, if they want to talk to you.
Is there something you want to tell me? You seem to be having a good time. They're saying, just have a good time, just look at us, just be like us, just vibrate and laugh. That's being alive. And when you look at them, they get serious. They stop vibrating and they glow brighter as if they're looking back at you. It's easier to see them, but they're not moving like they used to. They're not vibrating.
You can ask them why they're not moving like before. See what they say.
Why aren't you moving like before? When I look at you, you seem to just grow brighter. Yeah. I'm looking at them too seriously. When you touch them, it's like tickling them, and they vibrate more. When you look at them, they get startled and they stop vibrating.
You want to try to look at them not so seriously to see if they continue to vibrate.
I have to just keep moving my gaze. If I look too long at one place, then they slow down and stop vibrating and get brighter. So I have to keep try to see all of them at once instead of staring at one of them.
What happens if you smile at one of them? How do they react?
They vibrate more, they giggle more.
So they like it when you smile.
Yes. And they get serious when you stare at them.
How about if you look at them and you laugh? What do they do?
They laugh even more.
Okay. Do you want to ask them to tell you about themselves, who they are, what they do?
Yeah. Who are you, and do you have a message for me? What are you doing here? What am I doing here? What do you want me to understand? What do you want me to experience? I'm saying, go lightly. Don't stare too hard. Just touch them lightly. Feel the buzz. Feel it giggling. Yeah, touch them gently. They enjoy that.
You want to try that?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and try.
It's almost like a musical instrument. When you touch it gently, it vibrates. And just like stroking the strings, just touching them lightly. Lights flash and they giggle and they laugh. They're full of energy, but they need to be touched lightly.
Okay. Very good. How about you and I continue to go see more things and have more adventures? What do you say?
Okay.
So you want to say goodbye to the rocks, tell them thank you, maybe tell them thank you for the laugh.
They're nice. They're friendly. They're almost like little animals. They giggle, they laugh. You can caress them. Thank you. Thank you. Let's move on.
Good, very good. That was nice. Now close that scene. Close that scene. And now I would like to ask to speak with this one's higher self, please. May I speak with this one's higher self?
Yes.
Thank you. Do I have permission to ask questions?
Yes.
Thank you. Higher self, you could have shown him many different scenes. Why did you choose to show him the scene where he was in a cave with lots of crystals that looked like flowers?
So he could see the magic. The garden is not just the flowers outside, but sometimes the rocks themselves. And the rocks can be alive just like the plants. But they're on a different frequency. If you look at them like plants, you don't understand what they're trying to say. So you have to observe and understand different frequencies and tune into each one separately. There's not one frequency. They have different things to teach us. Maybe not what you're looking for, but they have things to teach us.
Yes. So everything has consciousness, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how can he connect with rocks and things of different frequency?
Well, for rocks, it's vibration, not vision. That the vibration is what tells the story.
Okay.
How they tickle and giggle and laugh. You wouldn't think rocks have a life, but they're very much alive.
What was the story of the rocks?
That they're always vibrating.
Okay.
They're always in motion.
Okay.
They just don't move around. They're just in place and vibrating.
Okay.
And when you look at them, they stop vibrating and then they glow. They look like other objects, but they stop behaving like the rocks. So you have to touch them with the right intent, not too hard, just gently to touch them and feel their vibration.
Okay.
But that they are always alive and vibrating.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at them, you wouldn't know that. You have to touch them.
So you want him to touch the rocks from now on?
So different things are understood by different senses. So just looking doesn't help understand the things that vibrate, and just touching doesn't show you light. So each one has a different sense. Like there's a lot of places that were dark, so looking is not always helpful when it's dark. But feeling is. You can feel your way in the dark. You can't see your way in the dark. So sometimes you have to rely on your touch, sometimes on your hearing, sometimes on smell, on body sensation. So each environment has different senses that you need to use to navigate. That if you rely on just one sense, you can only understand very few environments. When you use all the senses, then you see the life that you didn't see before because it's not visible. It's vibrating. And when you look at it, it changes.
Why does it change when you look at it?
That's the interaction.
Okay.
When it doesn't show itself when you look at it. It shows you something else.
Okay.
So you don't really know what it is. If you rely just on the sight,
Okay.
you wouldn't understand rocks at all.
Okay. Is there a correlation between what you showed him in that scene and this life that he's living on? Is there something you want him to understand?
Yes. Switch focus. Use all your senses. Don't get caught in just one sense. Just because vision is strong doesn't mean you can understand everything visually. Be open to what nature is offering. So if looking doesn't show you anything, then listen. If listening doesn't bring to sound anything, and touch. So use all the different senses. But sometimes we can't understand the puzzle with visual because it's in the dark. You have to feel the pieces. So don't rely on one sense.
If you were to translate that higher self into a more practical way of doing things in this life that he's living, what would you like him to know?
When things are dark, it's hard to see. So don't just rely on sight. Rely on your inner sense, on your outer sense, on touch, vibration, smell, intuition, and always look for life. It seems like there's nothing there. It means you're using the wrong senses. There's always life everywhere. So you need to get in tune with where you are. It's not going to change to accommodate you. The more you force it, the more you distort it. You need to become part of it, to understand it.
So he needs to change himself rather than try to change other things?
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned when things are dark. What are there things that are dark in his experience now that this could apply to?
His illnesses.
Okay.
And trying to overcome them the same way isn't working.
Okay.
So that means he doesn't understand what the problem is, because he's looking at it more and more intently, but it's not something he can see his way through. He needs to use his other senses, and maybe not stare so much. Like the rocks, when you stare at them, they just glow. They stop vibrating, they stop laughing and giggling. So maybe just trying too hard changes them into something they're not. So it's confusing. He's expecting one thing and something else happens.
How is he looking at his illnesses that is not serving him?
Each one is a kind of death, an ending of his life like he knows it, but he's not understanding what it really means. He's resisting.
Mm-hmm.
He's not understanding.
He's seeing it as the end of something.
Yes.
So how should he look at them so that he will get better?
Like the rocks, to touch them gently, not to harm them, but to feel them, and feel the little vibrations and the little giggling and laughter that's going on underneath all the death that he's afraid of seeing. That there's always life. So if he's looking at it too intently, all he's seeing is the death. He's not seeing with his new life coming.